broke down out in the middle of nowhere. It's at least 6 miles out of this road, and there's never any traffic comes down here. Late in the day, what if I have to spend the night? Guys, this is what can happen if you break down because you ride in remote areas. And many of us do that. We ride back roads and explore on our adventure touring bikes, our dirt bikes. So what do you want to carry every time on your bike? You always want to have it with you. If you're prepared, you'll think of a few things that should be non-optional. I want to share with you what I carry at all times in my tank bag. Now, for me, if this were a real situation, it would just be an inconvenience. I have my whole camping kit on my adventure touring bike. I'm not hardcore dirt rider, trail rider, where I'm worried about weight as much. I pack all of my stuff most of the time. And so I have a tent, everything. I could spend a night here, cook kit, be comfortable, no problem. But what about those times when, and I do pull this off sometimes, you want to ride light and you only have a tank bag? What would you carry? I'm going to share a few things you should always have. And here in my Moscow Moto bag, I can contain all of these things. The first thing you're going to want, and yeah, this is optional because you can live a long time without food, but psychology is a part of it. To have a little bit of comfort, a little bit of extra energy for that night out in the woods is a good idea. Carry a couple of bars, good idea. A couple of food bars of some sort, never hurt. The next major critical thing you're going to need is water. It's hard to carry much water on a tank bag, and if you live in a real hot environment, it's even more of a problem. The Moscow Moto bag has a, I think it's a 2-liter water bag in it, so I have some water here, but it's always good to prepare for a longer term outing. So I carry a water straw, survival straw. You can get them cheap on Amazon. I'll pull that out and show that to you. It's a great item to have. And you know, you're gonna have to drink out of a puddle maybe, or something like that. That's it. You put the straw in the end and you can drink anything pretty much. So good idea to have a water straw. The next thing I would recommend, highly recommend, is a stout knife. You don't have to spend a lot of money. This is a Morel Bushcraft knife. And the reason I like the Bushcraft knife is because it has a sharp back on it. It's a little more robust than their other knives, about $40, $45. But this is great for using on a fire steel. And you can baton through wood and make kindling with this very easily. So a good knife, always a good idea. It can be used for many things, obviously. Along with that, I like a fire steel to ensure that I always have fire, because you never know, lighters can break. Fire steel never breaks, really. After the fire steel, I would go with something to shelter myself. You might start out and it'll be 70 degrees, and at night it'll be 55, and you're cold, middle of the night. You can buy these in bulk on Amazon, and they will get you through a situation that's otherwise quite difficult. Okay, after the foil blanket, another great item is a buff. These are awesome. Now I'm out in a particularly buggy area, but the bugs aren't too bad today. You can twist this around and turn this into a cap. You can use as a neck gaiter. This will keep your head warm a little bit. You don't want to be sleeping in the middle of the night with your helmet on because your head is cold. You're trying to get 20 minutes of sleep. Pull that on. It'll keep the bugs off your head. You can turn it into a little berry gathering bag if you want. Many uses to a buff. Okay, what else do we have here? Next thing I would think about is a USB port on your motorcycle. Why? Because you're probably carrying a cell phone, and you're going to need some way to charge that thing up. So put a port on your bike. You'll use it for many different things. A whistle is a great idea. Why a whistle? Well, survivalists say a whistle is one of the best things you can carry. It's difficult to yell. The frequency of your voice doesn't carry as far. If you're tired, if you're hungry, if you're injured, a whistle will pierce through when rescuers are looking for you, and you know, it could get you out of a very tough situation. Now, speaking of rescue, if you can really afford to do it, and you do ride in the back country a lot, I would highly recommend an Inreach Explorer. I mean, I can't tell you how much comfort this gives me being out in the back country. This thing is satellite based, two-way messaging. You know, if you get the plan I have is like $13 a month year round, and it allows me to stay in touch with my family, my friends, anyone I want. I can email or text, you know, and every text and every email that goes out comes with a link that the recipient clicks on and gives them your exact location on the map. So if you need help, it's not necessarily rescue, you can call family, bring the pickup truck, bike is broke down, you know, saves a lot of hassle. And if it really gets desperate, you can push the SOS button and rescue will come and save you. Inreach Explorer, can't recommend it enough. Okay, the next thing I always bring is a saw. This is a Laplander, probably one of the best. 20 bucks, great steel. I think they're made in Sweden, maybe somewhere like that. Great geometry to the blade, and you can seriously process wood with this saw, way more than a knife or even an axe. Why do you need it? Well, if you're going to get a cool night, you're going to try to keep a fire all night, you're going to need a lot more firewood than you think. This will help you process it. Also, you are possibly going to build a little shelter, just as, you know, rugged lean-to, just something, throw some branches over, pine branches, just to kind of cover you a little bit. Throw your foil, rescue blanket over the poles, and then some pine boughs over that to protect the thin foil from getting broken up. It'll keep you dry in the rain, and you'll have a shelter, and this will greatly aid in that. You can also cut poles if you had to lever or pry, you know, help lift your bike up, whatever. There's a lot of uses for a saw. Some paracord, lots of uses for that. A headlamp. Headlamps, can't beat them. The utility out at night, got to gather some wood, work on your bike. These things will last hours on 3 AAA batteries. Always a good idea. Speaking of water, you can get by with a survival straw, but what if you found a good body of water and you need to bring some back to get you through the night? These little bags are called emergency water bags. There's a 3-pack, they're 1 quart. They're fairly rugged, yet they weigh nothing, and you could gather water in these, drink out of it, purify your water in this if you use tablets. Sometimes I carry a SteriPen, which also will work with this and sterilize water. Okay, these things all fit easily in the bottom section of my bag, so we're not talking about a lot of stuff here. Obviously, any medication you need would be important, and bug dope. I use this stuff here. It's Repel, and it's in a pump bottle. It lasts a long time, and if you are getting just eaten alive, that's going to help you again. So obviously, the nice thing about the Moscow Moto bag is that you can unclip this baby really fast. Let me just cinch it up here, give you an idea how that works. 2 clips on the sides and 2 on the tank, and you're moving. There are 2 backpacking straps that pull out here, and you can go. You have water and all that important essential gear when you do have to hike out. Great. So if you pull your tank bag off, just find a way. You could use paracord and fashion a strap or something, but if you're hiking out 5 miles, you know, carrying this in your hands would be a pain. So find a way to carry your bag, because when you have to walk out, you want to take that stuff with you. All right. And very easy to pop this back on. It only takes a minute. All right, guys, obviously, you know, there's a lot of other stuff you could carry. Duct tape, which I already have a small roll in my toolkit. I have a Leatherman wave tool in here. You could do a first aid kit, another thing I carry in another bag. But we're not talking about a backpack here. We're talking about a few things that are going to help keep you alive. And the water is obviously the most essential, and shelter would probably be second, and food is a distant third, you know. But a way to self-recover is awesome, like an Inreach Explorer, some way to signal help, because you could be injured. This breakdown could not be your bike, it could be a crash and you just can't get out. Your bike is broken, you're broken, and so you know, at least have the essentials. And if you don't use a tank bag, carry a backpack or put together a small kit with this stuff and find a way to pack it on your bike. Be safe out there, and you'll enjoy yourself, and your family will feel better about it too, knowing that you're prepared. All right? Thanks for watching.